All right, we're going to switch gears now and head back out to Ridgecrest, and we have 17's Amber Frias. She is at the shelter set up by the Red Cross. Amber, what is the latest there?
Yeah, I just want to go back and talk a little bit more about what people can do to prepare. Now, the biggest thing that we've heard out here these past few days is that the best way to be safe is to stay prepared and make sure that you are prepared and you have a plan before the earthquake actually hits. So I'm actually joined with by Steve Selleck with disaster response. He's a disaster response coordinator, with some tips that he has that you could use around your home to be ready when anything like this happens, right?
Yeah, so one of the preventative things the best preventive thing you can do is get an earthquake safety shutoff valve, which basically goes under your gas line. It can be installed by a professional plumber. You can purchase it at Home Depot, Lowe's. A lot of those places have them. But I always say have it installed by a professional plumber because it has to be specially set and leveled. So if there's an earthquake, the ball drops in and actually shuts the gas off to the house. There's also earthquake strapping that you can put to your bookcases, your china cabinets, so that those things don't block your access if you're trying to get to your kids or trying to exit the house quickly. There's museum putty. There's different types of things you can put on your lamp fixtures to hold them down. There's clips and clasps that they have that are specially made for earthquakes where you can push your cabinet door and it pops open. It doesn't just so that way your dishes and all your china and everything else stay in. So that if you're running out in the middle of the night at 2 or 3 in the morning, you're not running across glass and then cutting up your feet and then becoming part of the scenario where 911 has to show up and resources are being tapped at that time. Another critical thing to look for is a lot of times people think that they see some structural cracks and they think it's cosmetic. Sometimes those cosmetic cracks can actually be structural cracks. So many times when you see waves in the floor, you may want to have the carpet pulled up and have it looked at and reviewed by a licensed structural engineer. You may want to have the roof-to-wall connections inspected as well. And many times on the commercial roofs, many times people walk inside, they see the ceiling tiles came out, but what they don't realize is that the roof peeled the side, detached itself from the wall. So the next heavy rainstorm, all of a sudden now they're dealing with a flood. So you just went through one disaster, now you're dealing with the second disaster. So many things you want to avoid.
How often should they do these checks on their home?
I would say just do it as a yearly check when you're doing your smoke detector test, and you're changing your batteries. I would do it on a yearly basis. Just go through the property and see what you've added, and make sure that you put everything secure, review your evacuation plan with your family and your communication plan, which is one thing that people forget. A lot of times in areas like this, the cell service goes out. There's not mobile communication. So you have to have a meeting point at certain hours that you're going to meet family outside the impact zone and regroup there and have conversations or know where to go from there outside that area if that area is impacted.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, guys, I'm going to toss it back to the studio with you guys.